solar and make your light bill lower. Call 904-999-7224.
USA Energy Savers Solar Division, 999-7224.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow. 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyoublow.com.
It's the 2019 Sonny's Barbecue Pitmaster Tour with XL Primetime. We'll be broadcasting live this Friday from Sonny's Barbecue on San Jose, right here in Jacksonville. Come by and meet the XL Primetime crew and learn about Sonny's special recipes from the Pitmasters themselves.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Whether you're a casual golfer or an avid golfer, let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you fill your wish list with the season's best deals in golf, featuring special holiday offers from Titleist. Save on Titleist Pro V1, Pro V1X, and AVX golf balls for only $39.99 a dozen, and save $30 on Titleist Vokey SM7 wedges for only $119.99. And while you're there, register to win free golf balls for a year. Edwin Watts Golf Shops offers an exclusive 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, helping golfers' holiday dreams come true since 1968.
Peterbrook Chocolatier is your holiday gifting headquarters. From peppermint bark to their famous chocolate-covered popcorn and custom gift baskets, they have something for everyone on your list. From Peterbrook Chocolatier, Merry Christmas.
Your neighborhood chocolatier.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 733 Stop.
Brakes for less.
All we do
are brakes for less.
With your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Brakes for Less. I'm B41010XL. Yesterday, the NFL Players Association won a grievance filed against the Jaguars. The grievance stated that the team fined one player, who was later identified as Dante Fowler Jr., 25 times for $700,000 in 2018 for missing what the team deemed as mandatory medical appointments. A jointly appointed arbitrator found that those appointments violated terms of the collective bargaining agreement. The NFLPA later in the day issued a statement to players and media following the ruling, stating that 25% of all grievances filed with them since 2017 have been against the Jaguars, and closed the statement saying, quote, "You as players may want to consider when you have a chance to select your next club," end quote. The Jaguars have yet to release a statement on the ruling or the Players Association's statement. It's 7:02 and 71 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys, wishing you a happy holiday season. If you need us now or in the new year, call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
You know it! Yada! Oh, yeah! Hey. Woo! Woo! Let's go! Yada! All right, America, today's the day. Time to rock that vote.
Yeah, there's no voting today.
Don't we have to vote on impeachment and all that?
I think we're impeaching the front office, apparently.
That's not at the top of the list.
That's the number one candidate for impeachment.
I will say this, too.
A ship that's just been slammed into a rock
I've been thinking about this a little bit.
Oh, good. I like it when you think.
I was thinking, I said, Dan, you need to think about this. You need to
One of
wrap
America's
your
great thinkers.
brain. Yeah, I kind of put my hand right here on my chin, and then I take my elbow and I put it down to my knee.
And you stare at the ground.
And actually, my wife Reagan is like, Dan, and I said, honey, I'm thinking. So, I'm in the think tank, honey.
Deep Thoughts with Dan Hicken.
I'm in the idea room.
The ponderer.
But anyway, I will say this. How different would the perspective be by everyone if the Jags were 9-5 instead of 5-9? Then we would have
fans, yes, but the PA, no.
No, correct. Yeah. Then we would have the coach who is like Belichick, or the management who's like Belichick and pushes it to the nth degree and finds whatever they can and does whatever they want to do to try to win and blah, 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 blah,
I think
blah.
here's the difference in Belichick. Belichick, if he had a player that wouldn't do what he needed to do, he wouldn't bother
cut him.
Man. Right.
Just cut him.
He'd move on. I'll get somebody in. And that's part of the problem here that the Jags and apparently don't seem to understand.
Yeah.
Instead of drafting players that you have to micromanage, try drafting men who you don't need to.
So the rules were broken, though, clearly.
Over and over, apparently.
And you can't break the rules. So that's the issue. And ultimately, now we've only heard that side of the story. I'd be curious to hear the other side. We may never hear it. And it may be a moot point at this point because of where we are and what we're doing as a football team, but nonetheless, a letter of reprimand by the NFLPA that was harsh on Jaguars management yesterday, as we just can't seem to get out of our own way. Even when we finally find a way to get a win and it's Monday and we can celebrate, bam, out comes something else. So it just seems to be the way it goes. Appreciate Jalen's tweet out last night. That's cool. You got it all figured out there in L.A. as you drive that franchise into the ground. Let us know when you guys go to the Super Bowl, by the way, but that's okay.
Are you talking about what he tweeted?
Tried to tell y'all.
At 11:04, tried to tell y'all with a face palm and then a palms up emoji.
That would be the one.
I just want to win football games and this is all noise to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the fight. Dante Fowler Jr.
At least he got his $700,000 back.
$700,000.
That's a lot of money,
But it is
man.
the same Dante Fowler Jr. that spends off season punching old men in the face.
I know, and that's fair. And it's also the same Dante Fowler Jr. who, I have
they
to look this
paid
up.
when he ripped his
Right.
ACL.
They didn't have to.
No,
is that
they didn't.
correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So
now it's pretty common form that most teams would.
Yes,
but they didn't. They did
yes.
quickly.
Without hesitation.
Right. Correct.
Without hesitation. In fact, our Joe poll question today, presented by Lockett Law, DUI, and Criminal Defense. Ho, 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 know before you blow. Please be safe driving this holiday season. And call Lockett Law at 858-9818. What happens with the Jags front office on Black Monday in 13 days? Because, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks from yesterday is NFL's Black Monday. That's the day everything goes kerflooey. Are they all gone? Is Coughlin going to stay and others go? Does TC retire and Marone stays? Only Caldwell stays. Right now, with 1,000 votes in, 74% believe they're all gone. So,
yeah. I am on, the one thing that, again, I'll say it. I don't want to put up with any love fest now for Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler, two guys that are symptomatic of the problems around here as much as rehab grievances.
Now, the only other thing I would add that I'm curious about, I don't know the answer to, is the interesting line that 25% of the grievances are filed against the Jaguars. Are there 100 grievances filed and 25% of those are Jacksonville, or is there 8 filed and 2 are against Jag? I don't know the number.
That's a good question.
I was just curious. You know, I don't know. And does that change how
because like
feel?
this Dante thing is one overall grievance, right? You don't have a grievance
I assume,
for every
or is
time.
Is it
every
know.
time they find you as a grievance?
Yeah, because that would be a lot of grievances.
Yeah, the $700,000 worth.
How do you compile $700,000 in fines? Like, what do you find? $10,000? You think when you miss something like that?
That'd be 70 though. It couldn't have missed 70 sessions.
Off season, if you're expected to be there
every
twice
day,
a week
and
or something,
every day they pile a 10,000 on
I don't
him.
know. Now it's interesting, and you know, I was listening to the big fella last night, and he had a good point. I mean, again, with he can go back to the '90s, and just Tom is a certain way. Tom Coughlin.
Loggeman butted heads from the get-go.
That's right. There's
about the
another
amount of workout,
Yeah.
about when he made the veterans
Correct.
do. So that Tom has pushed the envelope on that forever.
That's his way.
And it's and times have changed a lot from '95.
Yes, they have.
You
They're
can still
definitely lean towards the players.
Correct, because we're a lot I don't want to say softer, but the player. There was a day where you'd be, oh, come on, player, you make $1 million,
right?
Do what you're supposed to do,
right?
But now everyone's touchy-feely, feel good, and I'm not backing Jalen Ramsey. I got an emoji for you. It's the middle finger one, Chief.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. Don't take what you did and say that that's like a grievance.
Yeah.
You stormed off a field and pushed your coach, and then you walked off on your team and you faked like you were injured. Where's that when it comes to the grievance department? When you're a faker, a phony.
Quitter.
Yeah, so whatever, dude. It's all clear that they just need a whitewash, though. I mean, you can't continue with this kind of, nonsense.
Yeah. There's lots of things going on in the world of sports. What a performance by Drew Brees. And, I'm a big fan of the rating system for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
If 29-30
isn't perfect,
then what are we doing here?
And we see perfect.
Because Lamar Jackson had perfect at the beginning of the year against the Dolphins.
I think.
Yeah. Against the Dolphins, I remember for sure, and he missed 17-20 or something. So how do you get,
I guess you got to go 30 for 30, like ESPN.
Oh, you didn't get your game, did you?
No, not near enough.
Yeah.
I got a lot, but I needed about twice as much as I got. They don't score. My guys didn't score.
They had to score.
Yeah, I needed them to score. They had decent games, but
you know what I noticed that I watched?
Alvin Kamara's been a huge disappointment.
Dan Hicken fantasy observation.
Okay.
From a guy who doesn't play. So all you fantasy guys who do play and will probably go, hey, no crap, Dan. Great observation. But it's come to my knowledge that so every year I'll say to you, like, who are the top 3 guys? And you'll rattle off the 3 guys based on the season before. I think you shouldn't take those guys. But you'll get laughed at in your draft when you don't take Saquon or Alvin Kamara.
Well,
there's got to be the next guy. I think you got to always get the next guy and be one step ahead to get that.
You know what, this year?
And Lamar Jackson would have been that guy this year, or no?
And the only one.
The only one, huh?
Yeah, think about it.
Everybody else did.
Nobody's come out of nowhere. I mean, you've got like a DJ Chark level of input.
No.
I mean, like,
yeah.
There's no running back who was like off the radar.
But I'm thinking like David Johnson
Nick
a couple
Chubb,
years ago.
correct.
They told me, David Johnson,
Yeah.
and he hasn't done anything since.
Yeah.
And then this year it was Saquon and Kamara, and neither of those guys had good years, right, fantasy-wise, or
they were
on the field.
decent, but they're not.
But when I was watching
no-brainer number one. They're behind guys like Chubb, and Josh Jacobs.
But when I was watching the Saints last night, it struck me, and I don't know if this is how they do it, because I was paying a little bit of attention in the beginning just because I was curious because my son had traded Alvin Kamara
in his fantasy
recently, and everybody scoffed at him. It turned out to be a great trade. He traded Alvin Kamara for Eckler and Hooper. And anyway, and on paper, you're like, what are you doing? That makes no sense. That's dumb. But Kamara goes in and out of the game constantly. Has that been that way all year?
Well, yeah. Well, at the very beginning, no, but they lean on Murray like they did Ingram almost. It's not much of a difference.
Yeah.
But with Ingram, Kamara had 18 touchdowns. Kamara ruined my draft. I mean,
he didn't score the touchdowns this
year.
He hadn't scored since week 2.
Yeah,
they said last night.
And he also he's not piling up a lot of yards and catches either. He's been a very middle of the road guy.
Okay, I was just curious. The Colts, terrible loss for them.
They're a terrible team all of a sudden, aren't they?
I will say this: the NFL guys, the experts, it may pan out, but they all tried to paint this Ballard-Reich combination as being so great, and so we're inside with the Colts, and Ballard is has the best roster. Well, guess what? Sorry, Junie Bug, they suck too.
They've lost 4 in a row. They're only a game ahead of the Jags.
They were 5-2, and Ballard and this roster building, and Frank Reich and this genius, look.
They should have changed kickers week 2, and they might be in a different spot.
Amen. And you got to have the fortitude to do that.
Yeah.
At some point, when by the 3rd or 4th game he's lost you got to get rid of him. And now he's out because he's hurt.
Well, now you paid Jacoby Brissett. You extended him before.
And now
he played good for the first half, and he's not playing good now.
And the other thing I'll say about quarterbacks, and then we'll go off to a break here at Dan time, is this. There's a lot of guys out there playing right now who are I don't know guys.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, is this going to be your quarterback in the future?
I don't know. We got one here.
And what I'm not going to do this time around, though, Jeff Prosser, and I'm sorry because I like Minshew, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here week after week for 5 years and make excuses for Minshew like I did maybe for Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need if he's not it, then we need to get it.
Let's keep going, or bring somebody else in who could compete. And I don't know when you make that decision. I just think if there's always somebody better at that spot and you can get them, you take them. Because I'm not going to go through that. Well, it's like this Sunday's a perfect microcosm of it, and I'm glad. Kudos to Gardner, kudos to the fourth quarter, but for 3 quarters, why were we so bad? We had 2 first downs at the half. That's no good, and that's on the quarterback.
Well, you win, and it glosses over
Correct.
a lot of the other things.
They had
that
at
may
one
not be going
point they had 20 first downs, and we had 2.
I'll tell you one thing that I've gleaned from the quarterbacking position. This is a new one too, but I think I've determined the one place in the world that you're not going to find a difference-making quarterback.
Where's that?
Free agency.
Almost,
if they're
almost
a difference-making quarterback, they're not going to let you go.
Almost never.
And Nick Foles may have been a difference maker for the Eagles in one certain postseason.
My point,
but overall, he's not been one.
And the reason why I brought it up is because Jacoby Brissett is an I don't know guy.
For sure,
they don't know.
They know they got him for 2 years and $24 million
or
whatever.
They were 5-2
out
of the gates.
Yeah,
and now they're 6-8.
Yeah, they've lost 6 out of 7.
Yeah. Ooh. So, anyway, a lot to do today. It'll be a fun day.
That's a shame. I hate to see that for him.
On a Tuesday, Super Tuesday, right here on The Drill.
Now, Downtime with Dan on 1010XL. Brought to you by Ameris Bank. Our look is changing, but our commitment to you remains fierce. Learn more at amerisbank.com/new look.
With everything around the Jacksonville Jaguars, can we just get to the